jeez. Come on, tablet, boot up. Boot up, tablet, boot up. I bumped this damn thing again. Okay. Oh, jeez. Come on. Damn tablet's getting so slow. Oh, finally. Hey, Kathy's here. Oh man, I'm running behind. That monitor finally went wacky. So I had to switch it out with actually a better monitor. But I couldn't get the bass off of it. And there was like a flip tab at the bottom. And I was like, okay, pull the tab. I'm pulling on the bass. I'm standing on the bass. I'm yanking on the monitor. Finally, I get a flashlight. And there's a little itty bitty screw. I'm like, how the hell do you get to that goddamn screw? Then I looked on the back of the bass and there was a little grommet. I popped it out. And there's the screw. I unscrewed it and the bass fell off on the floor. I was beating on this thing, standing on it, pulling on it. So finally I get the bass off. I put the mount so I could hang it on my twin monitor mount, get all the cables plugged in. I don't know why I stopped using this monitor. It's a beautiful 24-inch HP that I got for free. I don't know. Oh, because I could never get the fucking bass off of it. That's why I quit using it. I actually had it mounted on here at one time, and the bass was sticking out, taking up so. I was like, take it off. One little itty bitty screw. I couldn't believe it. I got the monitor up. I got it propped up. I turned out the screw, and next thing you know, the bass fell right on the floor. But oh, does it look nice? Oh man, I look beautiful. Well, not beautiful, but so I didn't get a lot done. I disconnected a shitload of wiring in the RAV. Tomorrow I have that scanner bank I have to take out. Then I've got the CB radio and the ham radio to take out. And, oh, my backup camera and the screen. There's still a lot of shit that's got to come out of that. But what I want to do is, since tomorrow night is going to be the big night, Wednesday, as I unbolt stuff out of the RAV, I can bolt it into the facade. Just the only problem, and I forgot all about this, with me putting a new battery in it, it blows away all the codes in the computer, which I'm assuming there's trouble codes. You can't run the car, like have it idle in the driveway, you have to drive it for at least 100 miles. How am I going to drive this car for 100 miles with no license plates? Because if it has trouble codes, which I'm assuming, I can't get a 45-day tag until like the 16th of November, maybe the 17th. I have to count the days. That way I could drive it through the end of November, through December, and then January, walk into the license bureau and say, give me my plates, without having to have the stupid e-check. In a way, I'm hoping there's no trouble codes. I'm going to have to figure some way of driving that car. And then what I'm going to do tomorrow, I'm going to call Volkswagen. And I'm going to ask them, do I have to drive it 100 miles? Or having the engine run for a certain amount of time, if it has a trouble code, will it throw one? I remember, now things could have changed, but back in the day, like with GM cars, you had to drive them 100 miles before the computer reprogrammed itself. I know, it's going to be fun. It'll be fun finally having it in my driveway and not across the street. Oh, that delay drives me crazy. It really does. That delay between me live over here and on YouTube over here, it drives me crazy. Because, like, when I do this, like right now, I'm waving my hands. Now we'll see how long it takes. Now it just came through on YouTube. There's that long of a delay. It drives me crazy. I don't know either. It's supposed to be live. Why, unless Prism has a delay built in? Here, we'll try it again. I am waving my hands right now. Was that 10 seconds? 15 seconds? That's the delay time. From when I actually do it live until you see it. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I just have to quit looking at this screen over here. That's what I have to quit looking at, that screen. Ten seconds. That's why it's driving me crazy, because I'm on the left side, or on the right side, I'm live. Like right now, I am moving my hand in a circular direction. Now I'm stopping. How long before you see it on your screen? I got 11 seconds. 10, 11, hey, maybe I hit my stopwatch a little. So that's what I'm putting up with when I'm looking to the right and looking to the left. But at least I got the monitor situation taken care of now. Now all I got to do is get that microphone arm to get out of it. But no, I ain't fooling with microphones. Where's Ronbo? He sent me some goopy YouTube shit today. I figured he'd be right in the door behind you. And Linda's probably feeding, because this is usually feeding time. It's 7:13. We'll give it 2 more minutes. 7:15, we'll do the official start. I was watching several cases of Judge O'Donnell out of Lake County, Ohio. Oh my God. He is brutal. And he don't care what he says. He told one defendant today, I don't want to hear your goddamn bullshit. And then the defendant said, I'm not bullshitting you. Oh, he said, you're the king of bullshitters. You should be wearing a goddamn crown. One judge I would not want to be in front of, believe me. Although Judge Dad got pissed today. Oh, did he get... He got pissed today. I'll tell you what, I've seen him angry. Today, I think, took the cake. Because this one defendant really pissed him off. Yeah, you know, Kathy, that's what we need. We need more judges that speak plain English instead of all this legal jargon. Just plain English. Because it gets their attention. Man, when he told that guy he was a goddamn bullshitter, he sat up in the chair and was like, whoa. And I'll tell you what, there's a lot of times that he comes right out and says, I don't have to go by the plea deal between you and the prosecutor. And the more you bullshit me, the more I'm going to fashion my own sentence. And boy, that gets their attention real fast. Well, let's get started. Hey! Stop! Stop! Oh, God. Damn tablet. I know, you're old, you're old. Broadcasting live from station WDWL TV. Corporate offices on Grumpy Vulture Boulevard. And my personal studios are on, over here, idiot, Grumpy Old Man Road. And for you first timers, I am the Grumpy Old Man and the Grumpy Jackalope. All right, all right, all right. The Grumpy Vulture, take your bow. Pain in the ass. No more spotlight either. We're conserving energy. Oh, yeah. The older this tablet gets, the worse it gets. But I can't complain. I mean, the goddamn thing is 16 years old. I use it daily. I use it daily. For 16 years, I have used it daily. And the battery is taking a shit, and now it has a. Well, I'll tell you, part of the problem, it was a generic screen protector. And the plastic is a bit thick. So the touch screen isn't that sensitive. And I was going to take the screen protector off, but it leaves sticky residue, and I was like, I'll just leave it. And for my Tough Pad, my police tablet, in order for me to play music, I have to get amplified speaker, because even all the way on 100% volume, you can't hear it. And mainly the Tough Pads weren't really made for volume. So, and then I did find out that if they used them in court, they plugged them into an amplifier. So I have to try to find an amplified speaker that I can mount on the Tough Pad for when my LG tablet here dies. I'll be able to play all my music. Never a dull moment. And I dug out the computer mount. I hate, oh man. I have to drill a couple of holes in the floor of the Passat in order to bolt that laptop mount in, because it came out of a police cruiser. It's the same one that they use. So I don't know if I'll do that right away. Well, yeah, well, I still got good weather. That way I can mount the Tough Book, and it'll look just like a police car. Well, Passat looking like, well, maybe in Germany. They did use them for police cars in Germany. And I think it's hilarious. Salt Lake City, they use Toyota Camrys for police cars. I could not believe when I saw Toyota Camrys for police cars. I didn't know that Toyota made a police package for the Camry. Yeah, watching Judge O'Malley, he has had this guy 3 times. And every time the guy comes in, he needs an interpreter. Today was sentencing day for this guy. Judge O'Malley's bailiff comes in and said, guess what? Mr. Santos has been sitting out in the hall with a couple of his friends conversing in perfect English. Now, I have seen 2 of the 3 appearances of Mr. Miguel Santos, or whatever his first name is. And he really plays it up. No comprende. I need interpreter. So, judge calls him up, and he said, you understand English perfectly, don't you? And he looked over at the interpreter, and the interpreter looked down. And he said, you understand English perfectly, don't you? And instead of going, see, yes. So he told the interpreter, you're dismissed. And then he commenced reaming this guy's ass. And he says to his court secretary, the one you never see, you hear her voice. He said, Lisa, I want to know how much the interpreters charge and how much is owed so far, not including today. So she comes back and she goes, well, the interpreters charge $160 an hour, minimum 2 hours, plus $80 travel time. So he said, Lisa, I'm going to send the interpreter down to give you today's bill. And then come back and tell me how much the total is. Well, the total came to $3,300. So, Judge O'Malley said, gee, you have a smug look on your face. You are going to pay the interpreter fee of $3,300. You're also going to pay Mr. Gall, I think the guy's name, $1,275 for his truck. I'm putting you on a year probation. he ended up owing about $7,000. So Judge O'Malley says, "How much you got with you?" Oh, $100. Judge said, $100. You're single. You live with your mother. You make over $2,000 a week, and you only got $100. I need payment plan. Judge O'Malley says, "Okay, no problem. $100 a week." And he said, "You don't want to screw with me. Miss a payment, you're going to jail." And the guy's got a smug look on his face. And Judge O'Malley said, "Be as smug as you want." He said, "I'm appealing." Judge said, "Good luck. I'm the easy judge. Wait until you get before the appeals judge. He'll wipe that smile off your face." The guy was an asshole. He played that game for 4 court appearances, racked up over $3,000 in interpreter fees, and thought it was funny. So Judge O'Malley said, "Hey, go ahead, appeal. I'm the easy judge. Wait until you get before the appellate judges. And don't be late with a payment." Because he says, "I will put your ass in jail. Have a nice day. Ron Bo's here." And you know, after seeing that, I started to think how many of these Spanish speaking people understand perfect English and play this no English in court just to rack up interpreter fees. And the guy spoke perfect English because when he told Judge O'Malley, "I'm going to appeal. Go right ahead. Have a nice day." I always wondered, because a lot of time in Judge Middleton's court, they'll have 3, 4, maybe 5 cases where they need an interpreter. I'm just wondering how many of these people are playing a game like that. I have a perfect solution. Learn goddamn English. Then we don't need an interpreter. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. When I go into the hospital pharmacy, there is a big chart that says we have interpreter service. Just point to the language. And there's got to be 30 different languages. We can eliminate that real easy. Before you're allowed to enter the country, you will be able to speak perfect English. Then we don't have to push 2 or push 1 for English, 2 for Spanish. Oh, that still irritates me to this day. Press 1 for English. I'm surprised Trump hasn't issued an executive order like that. From now on, if you wish to enter the United States, you will speak perfect English, or entry denied. I think that's more important than some of these damn executive orders that he's signed already. He signs them like they're baseball cards. There we go. Presidential order. You will bow down and call me emperor. There's the presidential order. Down to 109 subscribers. Oh, I gained one. Yesterday I was at 108. Am I reading that right? Yes, I am. Well, 3 left, and 1 took a chance. That's okay. Keeps it nice and homey this way. Boy, I'll tell you what. These spam calls are driving me crazy. I got 10 on one phone number and 8 on the other. Who is calling? And it's from all over the place. Michigan, Florida, Tennessee, North Carolina, South Georgia. I even had one from Idaho. Spam call. And if it wasn't bad enough, I no sooner decline on one phone, and then I get one on the other phone. And I decline that, and about 4 minutes later, I get one on the other phone. It's not election time. I don't know why I'm getting all these stupid calls. Probably somebody offering me a new Rolls Royce. We keep calling you, you keep declining. We're going to give it to somebody else. No. I'll take it. Yeah, over the weekend, I only got like 2, maybe 3. And then Monday was like maybe 4 per phone. And then today went crazy. Just absolutely insane today. And they're all different numbers. Oh, I got a voicemail about that. One person left a voicemail regarding the extended warranty on my 2022 Cadillac Escalade. I don't have a Cadillac Escalade. But they were calling me about my extended warranty, so evidently I have an Escalade somewhere. Somewhere. I don't know where it is. Somewhere. I wish it was in my driveway. But out of all them spam calls, one voicemail. Somebody is driving my Escalade. I wish they would bring it back. Maybe I'll extend my extended warranty if they bring it back. That was the call out of Florida. If you're listening, bring back my Escalade, please. The one I don't even know I own. Bring it back. You think they'll bring it back? I doubt it. Two weeks ago, I got a call about, it was from Square Trade, wanting to know if I wanted to buy a warranty for my Hisense TV. I felt like calling back saying, call my niece. She has the TV. Because my sister bought it for my niece for Christmas. And from what I hear, it works like a charm. I didn't want it. Really? A custom? Maybe you own one and don't know it, Kathy. Maybe like with me and the Escalade. Maybe somebody gifted you a custom bike and it got stolen before it was gifted to you. Is it a nice looking bike? Something like, what was that, East Coast Choppers or... Boy, as fast as they became famous, they went right in the sewer. And I've seen I've seen a couple of bikes for sale on eBay, and people can't even get the money they invested in them bikes that they had, built by them. I still remember that custom bike they built for Miller welders. And then they built a little trailer with a Miller welder on it to be towed behind the bike. And the snap-on. I mean, every big major corporation ordered a bike from them. It was amazing. Snap-on, Miller welders, they built that one for New York Fire Department. God, I can't remember some of the big outfits that they built bikes for. I think they built one for Mack Trucks. Yeah, OC Chopper. Yeah, Orange County. That's right. Well, they were on the East Coast. And then what's his name? He had West Coast choppers. And he was married to that movie star. I don't know what she saw in him. And then she caught him cheating on her. Oh boy, his life went right in the sewer after that. I was shocked the first time that Sandra Bullock, yeah. When she basically came out in public and admitted she was dating him and they were on the red carpet. And, she's in her beautiful gown and he's got frickin' tattoos up the ass. I don't know what she saw in him. I really don't. But it was obvious that he didn't appreciate what he had. Because he was messing around with that frickin' stripper pole dancer. And she caught him. Oh, man. And he lost everything. Because he had that big shop, and he wasn't as famous as Orange County, but he was selling custom bikes to the stars. And then the hammer dropped. then he went, I can't remember where he went. He ended up starting some little custom shop somewhere. But his reputation went right in the sewer. But I still don't know what Sandra Bullock saw in him although it did really spike his business. And he just couldn't stay loyal to the gorgeous female he had. And boy, she didn't waste no time dumping his ass either. Good thing she had a prenup. I can almost imagine what went on behind closed doors between her and him and the two attorneys, because she crucified him, which he deserved it. He absolutely deserved the crucifying he got. It's the same thing with Orange County Choppers. Once the one son left, the show went in the sewer. And then they said, we ain't renewing this. You're done. And same thing, they had that big, beautiful building and gone. I can almost imagine what they were getting paid. But what was it, TLC? Were they on TLC? I can't remember what cable channel they were on. But once that money stops, kind of tough making them payments. I saw the old man on a couple of talk shows. They were asking him, like, how come you stopped building bikes? He's like, well, it was time to retire. Yeah, bullshit. He wasn't getting that godzillion dollars every month from the TV production company. Matter of fact, you see very few of those custom shows anymore. Chip Foose had that. That one show where they would steal the vehicle and then rebuild it and do a presentation. And then that, oh, what the hell was that one? The guy had that goofy beard. It was like straight and cut off. Can't remember the name of the show. I used to watch them all, too. I really liked Boyd Coddington. And then his diabetes got all out of whack, and he ended up in the hospital, and then dirt nap. I don't remember Pink Slips. I don't think I ever heard of that one. What cable channel was that on? I take it with the name of Pink Slips, it was all females. That was like, what the hell was that? All Girls Garage. That was the one that Jesse Combs was on. Besides Mythbusters. Oh, I never saw that. I never saw that. God, I would have enjoyed watching that. I watched that one. Oh, they used to drag race like on abandoned or they take over a city street that was Big Chief was one of the guys. God, back in the day there were a shitload of them kind of shows. Then when all the hot rod and motorcycle shows kind of deep sixed, I got hooked on the incredible Dr. Pole. I used to enjoy watching Dr. Pole. Then when one of his constituents sued him, that was the end of the series. They were like, oh, we don't want no dirt. No, 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 no dirt. Because when Dr. Pole's show ended, they kind of left you hanging. And then it was reported that he had one or two lawsuits filed against him. Matter of fact, one of them was with the veterinary board got a complaint that he was doing surgery without a head covering and a mask and gloves, and between the lawsuit and the investigation by the veterinary commission, Dr. Pohl's show ended. Now it's in reruns. But it's not the same watching reruns because you know exactly what's going to happen. I just wonder if he's still practicing. Christ, he was getting up there in age. Although he had always said he would continue until he couldn't do it anymore. Although I was kind of sad when Dr. Emily left. She went somewhat like North or South Carolina and opened her own practice. I like Dr. Emily. Dr. Brenda, although they said all along, Dr. Brenda really didn't want to be on camera. But it seemed like he no sooner would get someone in and fully trained the way he did things, they would leave and go start their own practice. He went through more doctors towards the end. And I remember Dr. Brenda, she had, they were weird. She had a weird, I don't know if it was a cow. It wasn't anything from around here. No, he's still good. You know, Kathy, I almost took a drive up there to meet him. I really was considering it. I wanted to meet him in person because he was such a down-to-earth guy. And I figured, be my day, I'd drive up there and he'd be out delivering cows or something, you know. Oh, he won't be back until midnight. Okay, tell him I was here. Because I figured it out, like, from here to Wiedemann, Michigan, was like maybe 4 hours. I figured I could do that, leave early in the morning, drive up to Wiedemann, and meet him, and then turn around, drive home. And Kathy, it was all old school. And almost like, what's the term I'm thinking? Almost like backyard medicine. He did everything old school, never changed his ways, explained everything in plain English. I used to like when they would roll the cows on their back. When the cow would have stomach problem, he'd be tapping. Tap, 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 tap. Right here, this is where I got a stitch. Okay, cow's good to go. I used to love watching when they'd flip them cows on their back. And boy, I'll tell you what, spindly little Dr. Emily could do it too. Well, she had help, but... The only part I didn't like was when he had to put a horse down. But I liked when he'd go out to that one dairy farm and be checking for pregnant cows, have his arm up the cow's ass to about here. This one's pregnant, about 2 months. That's where I would draw the line. I could not stick my arm up a cow's ass. Just saying. I'll never forget when they had that series on about the New York Zoo. And the one day they had to check that elephant to see if the elephant was pregnant. And that guy must have scooped 200 pounds of shit out of that elephant's ass before he could stick his hand up it. You know, Kathy, when I was young, I actually saw a country vet. Because if I would be out at my uncle's farm, like the one time, you talk about something that hurt every time. My uncle had a bunch of, he raised pigs to sell them for meat. Well, at a certain age, you have to castrate the pigs. I'll never forget. Out comes the old country vet, puts on his overalls, and they were standing in the back of my uncle's pickup truck. And he would grab a pig by the back legs and pull him up in the truck. And the vet, he would spray a little alcohol, wipe down the nether region, take a scalpel, zick, zick, pull out the Rocky Mountain oyster, chop them off, throw them on the floor, spray a little disinfectant. Next. Oh, it hurt every time they dragged a little pig in the truck. I was like, oh, God, oh, no. Did it right there. When the vet left, there was like 47 pair of balls in the fucking pickup truck. My uncle just swept them out. There we go. Yeah, because that way it was something about the meat getting tough or something. If you were raising them for food, at a certain age you had to castrate them. And I had the pleasure of watching that. But the vet, he had a white shirt and a tie on, put on his overalls, okay, put on his boots. There was my uncle inherited a bull. The farmer down the road gave it to him. He was like, here. So they had to put a ring in the bull's nose. I remember that one too. I didn't like it, and neither did the bull. But I'll tell you what, once they put that ring in that bull's nose, oh, he was as obedient as can be. My uncle would get in the pen and pull on that rope. Come on, time to go in the barn. And that bull would be like, okay, don't, easy, I'm coming. Yeah, he had a hell of a time trying to get that bull in the barn. But until the vet came out and put that big ring in his nose. Then he was very cooperative. My uncle just grabbed the rope. Come on, let's go. Okay, 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 okay. Those were the only 2 times I saw the country vet. And my uncle liked him because he also drove a fancy DeSoto. That's all my uncle ever drove until they stopped making them. DeSoto, best car on earth. And a GMC pickup truck. Every farmer had a GMC, well, except for Toth down the road. He had a Ford. True story. My uncle needed a new pickup. The hardware store in Wellington sold GMC pickups. So my uncle called and said, I need a new pickup. What do you got? The guy at the hardware store said, I got a blue one and I got a green one. I'll take the green one. I'm on my way. And I remember he called Toth to come pick us up. And we drove out to Wellington. And my uncle got his new GMC pickup. But that's all the hardware store had was 2. Not like today, where they got like 200. He had 2. I could see him calling the factory going, oh boy, I sold one, ship me another one. Hey, look who's here, Linda's here. Oh, Linda, I'm sorry to hear that. Still, man, you just can't shake that. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you get better. You don't have to stick around. We appreciate you just stopping in. Yeah, God, you've been fighting that for almost a week now. That sucks. I hope it's nothing serious. I'll be thinking about you all day tomorrow. I hope tomorrow's a better day. Well, you know, as much as people hate going, maybe you should get it checked out, Linda, to be on the safe side. Either that or call your doctor. Just to be safe. You never know, you know. We wouldn't want it to turn into something serious. God, I got that stupid MRI with contrast Thursday. God, the questionnaire they emailed me today. Jesus. Must have been 100 goddamn questions. I don't know why all of a sudden I'm getting a questionnaire. I've had enough CT scans and MRIs. Well, let's hope it runs its course quick. It stinks being sick. I grabbed the red mug this morning instead of that goofy wonky one. The handle's so damn big it won't hang on the hook in my cup cupboard. I think basically what it was is, all right, we got this pile of clay left. Let's just throw it together and make some cups. No, they don't have to be round. The handles, who cares how big they are? The Americans will buy them. They don't care. Well, you don't have to stick around, Linda, if you don't feel up to it. We're just glad you popped in to say hi. Oh, let me move this monitor a little bit. There. It's still driving me crazy. What do you mean it's not a long drive, it's a short putt? Damn bird. We were talking about the incredible Dr. Pole. I told Kathy I really had considered driving up to meet him in person. And then I think the day I decided to go, it snowed here in Cleveland. I think that's why I didn't go. Although I had my RAV4 running, what the hell? I four-wheel drive. Yeah, I even had the route all planned out on GPS. I was going to drive up to Wiedemann, Michigan to meet him. Although it would have been my luck, he'd have been out birthing a cow or something that day. I'll tell you one thing, though. He liked his old used Jeeps. He never bought a new one. He would go to that car dealer and say, I'm ready for another Jeep. Find me one. Okay, Doc, I found you one. It's got 200,000 miles on it. All right, I'll take it. He never bought anything new. And the cool thing was he had a DeLorean. I couldn't believe it the day they showed that. He was getting it ready for a parade. Had the mechanic pick it up. A DeLorean. That was another reason I wanted to go up there. I want to meet you, Doc, and I want to see your DeLorean. He had some old antique car, too. I can't remember what he had. I was more interested in the DeLorean myself. I like when he took it in the parade. I think it was the 4th of July. Drove it down the road with the doors open. Although if I had a DeLorean, I'd be driving it down the road with the doors open too. I'll never forget when they first arrived here in the United States. I really wanted to buy one, but the price was a little over my budget. I wanted a DeLorean in the worst way. I thought those were the coolest cars. And then a friend of mine bought a Bricklin. It had gull-wing doors too, but it wasn't the same. He goes, look, I got gull-wing doors. I says, yeah. Your car's made of fiberglass. A DeLorean is made of stainless steel. And a DeLorean is way cooler than your Bricklin. God, he had that car for years. Hardly ever drove it. Then he finally sold it. And there was a guy. He lived somewhere in the neighborhood. He had a Stutz Blackhawk. It was built on a Pontiac chassis. They build them up in Canada, I think. It was a cool looking car. I think Boots just knocked his dish on the floor again. Hang on a minute. Damn cat. Damn cat. I hope he don't start that crap again. He opened a cupboard door and pulled my soup pan out. I thought I broke him of that habit. Oh God, I'd come out in the morning, there'd be pots and pans everywhere. He'd open the cupboard door, push all the pans out on the floor. I walk out in the kitchen and he gives me that look like, uh-oh. Yeah. Had the cupboard door open, had my soup pan out. Damn cat. I thought I broke him of that habit. I even put heavier magnets on the damn doors. Yeah, I'd get up in the morning, every cupboard door would be open, and there would be pots and pans in the kitchen floor. And then he'd give you that look like, me? I didn't do that, not me. Every now and then he does that shit. He'll pull that soup pan out, and then he'll lay in the cupboard. I'm like, if you want to lay in something, I'll get you a box. He used to do that shit too. I would get something that came in a box. I'd open the box, take whatever is in the box out, and he'd jump in the box. I'm like, you're too big for that box. No, I'm not. I got my ass in it. I don't know what it is with cats and boxes. Every cat I've ever had, if I get something in a box, I'll no sooner put the box on the floor and they're in it. And it's funny sometimes if it's a small box, how he'll try to get in it. I'm like, hey, Fatso, you're too big for that box. Oh, it's funny when I get one that's maybe like 10 inches by 10 inches. He'll figure, oh, I can stick my butt in it. And it's hilarious to see him in that little box with his butt in it. Like, I got in it. I'll never forget, God, he was about 2 years old. And I got him one of those cat condos. I took everything out of the box. I assembled the cat condo. He wouldn't get out of the box. I'm like, look, I got you a cat condo. I took him out of the box, put him up on the cat condo. He jumped back in the box. I ended up giving it away. He wouldn't use it. He did not like that cat condo. But give him an empty box. There he is. Matter of fact, I gave the cat condo to Marianne. Marianne. Her cats love it to this day. One will be sleeping on top, one will be sleeping over here, one will be sleeping in the little cubby hole at the bottom. Him wouldn't even look at it. Well, he did look at it and went, what am I supposed to do with this? It sat in the corner for a couple of months. He would not use it. So I gave it her. Her cats love it. Bought him a cat bed. Wouldn't sleep in it. Give him a box. He's happy. Didn't I like this? You know, the color is actually better on this old HP monitor than this pile that's another commercial monitor. Maybe that's why. Commercial monitors are probably just for documents. But the color's better on the old HP. And this HP has got to be 20 years old easy. Great color. Great color. Yeah, I told Kathy earlier, the Samsung finally went haywire on me. I had to get the old monitor. I booted it up, and everything was all fuzzy. I couldn't get it to unfuzz. Now watch it go haywire on me. Because I said it looked so good. Tomorrow I'll go to turn it on and I gotta figure a way of lowering that arm. Raise the microphone and lower the arm. I don't like the arm being in the way there. I know, quit complaining. It works. I was laying in bed last night thinking about Studio 3. I think well, when I have a crappy weather day, I'm going to assemble them partitions and see how they look. I have a small desk I can put in the living room. That studio wouldn't have to be very big. Could be open on that end. Have the desk and just use the partition for a background. I don't know why I need 3 studios, but since I've been using this one, I don't even bother with the other one anymore. Although I like this one better. I like the old nostalgia look. Although I keep forgetting to rearrange the Sinclair and the green S&H green stamp signs. I gotta put the S&H on the bottom and bring them up. You know, Kathy, that's the only thing that's the drawback to Studio 3. I like this one so much. Not to mention, it was my original studio. I just feel more at home here. Plus, everything is right where it should be. And if I ever get my mixer and console straightened out over here, I can use my old XLR microphones instead of these USB ones. I liked it because I could plug the tablet into the mixer. And then when it came time to play the music, all I had to do was turn the volume up on the mixer. And then when the music was over, turn the volume back off. I didn't have to hold the tablet up to the microphone. It made it a lot easier. I'm going to have to see what's wrong with this mixer. Plus, I have sound effects on one of my Fire tablets. And that way, I could plug them both into the mixer, play the intro music, turn it off, turn the volume up for the sound effects, and have the sound effects although I just thought of that. I have my original mixer, and there was nothing wrong with it. My buddy gave me this better one. I'm going to have to do that. Bring the old mixer out, put it over here, plug everything in, because I missed the sound effects. I had more fun with them sound effects. Some people didn't care for them, but hey, every now and then a fart sounds funny, you know. Or a toilet flushing. Or... God, I had a shitload of sound effects on that tablet, too. The next shitty day, when I'm cooped up in the house, I'm going to do that. Bring the old mixer in, hook it up, and try it out. Yeah, I would get more comments. The fart noises aren't funny. The puke noises aren't funny. The toilet flushing isn't funny. I thought it was. Nothing neater than saying something a little off color and do a fart noise and a toilet flush. There have got to be 200 sound effects on that Fire tablet. And the neat thing is I can plug the two tablets in to the mixer. I think it's time to experiment again. We need some fart noises and toilet flushing and... Yep. But it's got to be shitty weather. While we got nice weather, I want to be working on the cars. Matter of fact, I was looking at that mixer the other day. In the drawer, I was like, why did I quit using this? Because it's an expensive, it's a Behringer. Very expensive mixer. What the hell's this thing? Star Audio. I never even heard of Star Audio. Yep, time to get the old Behringer back out. That's right, Kathy. A good belch here and there is... like you say, there's at least 200 different sound effects on that tablet. And I haven't... Yep. Time to get the old Behringer back out. Put this Star Audio in the drawer. Because it'll hook up to the interface. Which computer is the interface plugged into? The main one. I don't even have to... I didn't realize that. The interface is hooked up. Oh, shit. Sounds like a plan. I don't know who J-Town is. Who is J-Town? Somebody I've never heard of. Yeah, Kathy, you'll appreciate the sound effects. I don't care how many people bitch. We need some good... A guy who dresses like a female. Oh, wait, is that... is that the one that's the retired military guy? Okay. I forgot. Yeah, I know who that is. I can't believe. Go through the military, fight for your country, retire from the military, and put on a dress and a wig. Yeah, I know who J-Town is now. That's all she got was probation. Well, that won't last long. You know damn right well she ain't gonna stick with probation. Yeah, I think I remember hearing about that arrest. She's an auditor. I don't follow auditors. Yeah, I know exactly who it is. Yeah. Yeah, probation won't last long. I give it about 2 months. I give it 2 months. And we'll be up for a probation violation. Yeah, I remember Josh was talking about her getting arrested. Yeah, I know exactly who it is. And GS, he's no better. Didn't he get busted for stalking? Am I thinking of the right person? Didn't he get busted for stalking? I remember he was out in front of that apartment complex. And he tried to pull this security thing. He was doing an investigation, some bullshit, if I remember right. And then he lost his gun permit and the whole 9 yards. If I'm thinking of the right idiot. Although those two are made for each other. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, God, yeah, I remember that. I remember K-Far talking about that. Yeah. Russell. Like I say, those two are made for one another. They're cut from the same mold, except one doesn't like being a male. I can imagine what all of his army buddies think. Well, nobody has money to pay court costs. Screw the court. But see, more judges need to be like Judge Dad. Every now and then he goes back to check court costs, and then he issues warrants. We need more judges like that. Because people always ignore their court costs. Because the courts don't really enforce it that much. God, especially like watching Judge Middleton. And he'll go, gee, you still owe me $1,000 and you were put on 3 different payment plans and never made a payment. Well, he can just get his girlfriend to stitch in some extensions up there. Maybe he'll end up with dreads. Got these women that have hair extensions down to their ass. I just don't understand that. There was a woman in Marks the other day, had hair extensions down past her ass. I'm like, you think that's beautiful? Almost as bad as the black kids that have sticks. I don't understand that. Sticks. They look like some prehistoric dragon. I got sticks. And I don't think they ever wash them. Probably got vermin living up there. No vermin here. Yep, that's the last of the coffee. Boy, that court case took forever. And then a plea deal on top of it. Jeez. I don't know why some of these court cases take so long. Although I know a lot of the defense attorneys, they drag it out and drag it out and drag it out. Finally, the prosecutor was like, all right, we'll give you probation. Oh, his beard looks disgusting. I'm waiting for a sparrow to nest in it. And that goofy haircut. Looks like he put a bowl on his head and went there. Yeah, I'm waiting for a tarantula to crawl out of Todd's beard. Because I'm sure something's nesting in it. I bet you his wife just thinks it looks gorgeous. Although the way he is, she's probably not allowed to speak in the house. I could almost imagine what he's like to live with. Todd, the legend. Yeah, Lynn, doesn't it look like he put a soup bowl on his head and then just went brrr. Looks like something out of the Little Rascals. Amish haircut. Now I insulted the Amish. Although, don't have to worry, they're not watching me online. I've yet to see a computer powered by candles. Another thing you don't have to worry about, Amish hackers. I still in this day and age, am amazed at the Amish. How they can be back in the 1800s. No electricity. No cars, no nothing. Ride around in buggies. Although I see they now have to have flashing LED lights. The slow-moving vehicle symbol has to have flashing LED lights now to prevent them from getting hit. Although Judge Middleton had a kid that got stopped for DUI on his horse. An Amish kid that got stopped for DUI on his horse. I didn't think the Amish drank. No, it was in his buggy. He fell out of his buggy, and the horse just went home. And when they arrested him, they took him home, and they found Budweiser in the buggy. Now, how does an Amish kid buy Budweiser without an ID? Because they don't have IDs. They don't even have pockets to carry their IDs in. Yeah, some motorist saw him drunk fall out of the buggy, and the horse kept going. The police got to the house, and the horse was right there with buggy and Budweiser. And he got arrested for DUI. I remember that cable program. What was it called? Breaking Amish? Where they basically like escaped. It was almost like the old Underground Railroad. If you wanted to escape, they had a safe house, and they dressed normal. But it was amazing how many of the girls went back. After like 6, 7 months or a year, they were like, this modern life ain't for me. I think it was called Breaking Amish. I used to watch it every now and then. But you kind of knew that it was somewhat scripted. Because I know when they left, they didn't want nobody to know where they were at, because The Amish, they go out in a posse and bring you back. Then you have to pray for weeks. I'll have to look. On my one cable channel, they have a whole bunch of them old programs and reruns. I can't remember which one it is. God, there's so many of them now. It's amazing how many free channels there are. Oh, really? How did they get the horses away from them? The state steps in and... Because I know they use them horses for everything, plowing the fields and pulling the wagons and all that. Although I know Texas is big on animal abuse. They don't take no shit down there. One of the few states that actually arrest you for that shit. Well, people, I think it's about that time. I'm sure Boots is batting his food dish all over the place. We know where, right here, WDWL TV. Linda, I hope you're feeling better tomorrow. I'll be thinking about you during the day. Kathy, thanks for being here. And wherever Ronbo's hiding. All right, we will meet again tomorrow night. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. See ya.